my show on the YouTube highway. I got all you need. I'm gonna do it my way. Just listen up now. You can turn it up loud to hear my cool album review. Hold on for the good time. I don't need no sad. I got a song for the ages. You be a good or bad. You need the info, or you'll find it here. Just move over the fast lane, shift your gears. I'm thinking it to y'all from me to you. Cool album review. Cool album review.
Hey guys, welcome back to Cool Album Reviews. I'm Joey, and this is another episode of Let's Talk Music. And today's topic is I'm an idiot, because I didn't realize the intensity of the mammoth group that is Motley Crue. Okay. First of all, when I was a kid, I would listen to classic rock radio, and of course, Motley Crue would come on, and 90% of the time, they only played 3 songs that I heard all the time. Those were Smoking in the Boys' Room, Dr. Feelgood, and Home Sweet Home. And sometimes there would be a 4th one that would sneak its way in there, and that would be Girls, Girls, Girls. Okay, but I realized something. I was getting Motley Crue and Quiet Riot mixed up for many years. So songs that I thought were Quiet Riot, for some reason as a kid I was brain dead, they turned out to be Motley Crue. Oh my God, this is humiliating. So in preparation for this video, sorry, I had another video editing over there in case you heard that. In preparation for this video, I took a listen to this gem right here, Decade of Decadence, 81 to 91. Okay, and I'm listening to this thing, and I'd never heard Livewire. That's one that I had never heard, which that riff just totally kicked my ass. I'll get to that in a second, but what I'm saying is I was listening to this thing, Livewire, Piece of Your Action, Shout at the Devil, Looks That Kill. All of these songs I had heard before. I had heard them, I knew the songs, but I thought it was Quiet Riot. Now, how stupid is this? Okay, so continuing on, we have Home Sweet Home, of course. That's a given. Smoking in the Boys' Room, that's a given. Girls, 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 that's a given. And as we're going through this, the only songs that I had never heard were Livewire, Rock and Roll Junkie, Primal Scream, Angela, and Anarchy in the UK. I had never heard those. But the rest of them I had heard before many times, and I just felt really stupid. But what really gets me about Motley is that, you know, Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee are not the greatest players of their instruments, but the way that that's just my opinion. They're not. Nikki Sixx is not the best bass player, and Tommy Lee is not the best drummer. But you put Mick Mars in the mix with this just manic guitar energy, coupled with their limited abilities, in my opinion, as a rhythm section. Somehow it worked. And then you put Vince Neil on top of it with his, I don't even know what to call it, his weird, it's pure rock and roll, but, he had a unique approach to vocals that made him different from a lot of people. And really, I was kind of even when I would hear this stuff, I was just like, it's just rock and roll. It's like food with no salt. But then I started listening, and they are a fierce fucking unit of pure rock and roll glory. Okay? I am now a fan of Motley Crue. And I've been a fan all along and just totally overlooked them because I thought they were someone else. Okay? And I feel like an idiot for that. And when moving forward to The Dirt, okay, this movie that's on Netflix that everybody's been talking about. Okay, this is not a film that you want to take just anyone in your family to see. In the 80s, it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And from moment one, that lifestyle is portrayed quite well. I about jumped out of my chair when, they're at the party and this chick just, this may be a little explicit for YouTube, but I don't care. This chick squirts all over this crowd of people in this film. And I'm like, okay, all right. The party's already getting started. Okay, so I sat and I watched this movie, and the way that they did it, I think, is fair. A lot of people have said, before you do this review, read the book. I don't read, guys. I know how to read. I'm not saying I don't, but I don't have the attention span to really read a book. It's easier to watch something. So, that being said, I will probably read the book over time, but for the movie, I think that, they did well. Now, I don't know if the actors, and if anybody that sees this, if you have any input on this, were the actors really playing and singing, or was that just Motley soundtrack and they were lip syncing? I don't know. But if they were really singing, in the case that they're really singing, I've got to say that the movie Vince Neil it sounded a little bit better to me than the actual recordings. I don't know. I'm sorry. But, I thought that they did a really good job playing those characters. And, the scene where his daughter is fighting cancer and he's in there, that just like totally tore my heart out. But the whole movie is just this rock and roll roller coaster kind of thing, and that leads me to talk about the exposure they're getting now because of this movie. I thought it was a great movie. I've got to give that a 10. I don't usually review movies on this channel, but I'm talking about Motley Crue, and there's a movie. So I give the movie a 10. As far as, presentation, I mean, they say they leave a lot of stuff out from the book, but who cares, really? It's a movie. It kept my attention. It wasn't just a complete terrible mess, so I have to give it a good rating. But the exposure they're getting now is quite a lot, and I think I honestly think they retired too soon. I think they could have done a couple of more tours and maybe a couple more albums. I'm hoping, and this is where I start to get pissed now that I'm discovering that I really, really like this band. Why the fuck would you go on tour in 2014 or I guess it was 2014 when they did their final tour, but it was going to be a farewell tour, and I guess they were trying to ensure that it was a farewell tour because they fucking signed an agreement saying that they can't play together as Motley Crue on stage again. That is the stupidest thing I think I've ever seen from any rock band. It's just bogus, because I know that I would go see them now. I would totally go see them if they were going to get back together. I would like to go just to see Mick Mars fucking shredding, being a Shreddy Krueger, as I like to say. This guy is a fucking badass, and I want to see him live. And I'm hoping that somehow they decide that they're going to get around that agreement. I guess, I don't know if it was between them or if it was between them and the record company. But they need to go back out at least one more time. Vince Neil, okay. I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this. I'm sorry, but Vince Neil, the guy can't sing like he used to. okay? He can't sing like he used to. Now, I guess it really doesn't matter because it's Vince fucking Neil. Uh, but if I go to a Motley Crue concert, I want to hear, you know, Kickstart My Heart with actual feeling. The last few, I watched several live videos from recent performances, and God, he is barely audible because he's not enunciating his words. And as a vocalist, you kind of have to, you know, I want to understand what the lyrics are. And Vince is like, he's singing like he's got a marble or a bunch of marbles in his mouth. You can't really understand him. And his voice is just pitchy and it's not really on point. But, you know, if he was back with Motley Crue, despite that, I would go see him just because it's Motley Crue at this point. And of course, for the average concert goer, if you're willing to pay $40 for parking and, you know, $300 for a ticket and, you know, $5 or $6 for a beer, sometimes more. After 3 or 4 of those $6 beers, you're not going to care how they sound. You're just going to be drunk and you're going to be shouting along and you're going to be having the time of your life because that's usually how it goes. Now, I've got to give more credit where credit is due. They are a fantastic group, and I can't wait to see if they actually get back in the groove and do something. I know they recorded a few new songs for the Dirt's soundtrack, but one of those really irks me. They did a fucking cover of Madonna's Like a Virgin? Come on, man. Are you serious right now? That was the worst 3 minutes of my life because it was just... Oh, guys, come on. I would have liked to hear any other song covered by Motley Crue. Any other song. But Madonna? Why? Just why? Why did that have to happen? Why did that... Oh, it's heartbreaking, okay? It's fucking heartbreaking. Oh my God. I listened to this and I had to share it with my fellow Crue fans because I could not believe what I was hearing. But the theme to The Dirt, that was an alright track. They've still got some gas left in the tank, I think. And what really hit home, really for me, about their story is that Mick Mars has this disability that is causing his spine and joints to fuse together, and he's always in pain. And I can relate to that because I'm always in pain myself, and I'm a guitar player. But I have to say that if he can rock like that in pain, then my problems aren't as relevant, because that's some serious rocking, and I've got to give it to him. I would like to sit down with every single member of Motley Crue in the same room and just have a beer and chill and and chat. I love what these guys have done, and I really hope that they get another album made before they really hang it up. I hope that isn't the end of it. I know Vince Neil is on tour, and Nikki Sixx is doing some shit. There's a lot of things that they're doing, but they need to just face facts and get back together for one more, just one more album. Give me one more Motley Crue album just to ease my mind. If anybody in the band ever sees this, come on, guys. You've got to do it for us. Do it for the people that really love your music. Do this. You just need to. I know that it may not be a primary focus, but just do it. Yeah, I guess my point is I really like Motley Crue. I think they are fantastic, and this CD will not leave my CD player as long as I can help it. This is fantastic. And it kind of gets me going. I'm ready to go. So I'm going to have to start, listening to this record before every show so that I can get some sort of energy in me, because a lot of people that have been to my shows and see me before shows say that I'm too calm. Maybe this will help. We'll see. But anyway, that about wraps it up. I'm an idiot. Motley Crue rocks. They're awesome. And yeah, they need to get back together. It's time. They took 4 years off, kind of regroup, get back in the studio and give us one more banger of an album, and then maybe another tour, and then retire and live your lives peacefully. But we really want one more Motley Crue album, don't we? Alright, that about wraps this up. I'll talk to you next time. Got a lot more album reviews coming up. Be sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends if you like this video. And yeah, always listen to great music, and pay more attention and don't be an idiot like me. Alright, we'll see you next time.